leaders to develop and implement strategic plans that foster superior schools, quality health care, safer roads, and a trained workforce. And that's a look at local and state news. In sports, on the local scene, then there were two. The Lovington and Eunice boys teams both lost Wednesday, leaving Hobbs and Tatum girls to represent Lee County and vie for state basketball titles. The number 2 ranked Eunice Cardinals were upset by 7th-seeded Pecos 60-55 in 2A ball at the Rio Rancho Event Center, while 7th-seeded Lovington fell to 2nd-ranked Albuquerque Valley in 4A at the pit to end the Wildcats season at 18-12. It was the Lovington boys' first trip to state quarterfinals basketball in 12 years. The Cardinals were eliminated by Pecos at last year's state tournament in the quarterfinals as well. The number 1 ranked Hobbs girls are gunning for back-to-back state 5A titles as they take on 4th-seeded Volcano Vista at 1:15 this afternoon at the pit in the semifinals. The winner will advance to the championship game Saturday at 2 p.m. against either Farmington or Sandia. The Lady Eagles will be without junior starter Bryn Hargrove, who's serving a 1-game suspension after receiving 2 technical fouls during their hard-fought but eventual runaway win over La Cueva on Tuesday. The Hobbs girls have beaten Volcano Vista this season at the holiday tournament in the title game 78-50. Hobbs also has defeated Sandia in January, but has lost by 1 point in their only game versus Farmington this season. In other Lee County sports scheduled for today, Hobbs and Lovington cheer teams continue to compete at the halftime hurrah event in Albuquerque during the state basketball championships. Both Hobbs and Lovington are defending state cheer champions in their respective categories. And that's a look at sports.
If you're using propane or electricity to heat your home and cook your meals, you're paying too much. Contact Zia Natural Gas Company and let them hook you up. In most cases, they can run the gas line up to your home and set your meter free of charge when you agree to convert your primary heat source to natural gas. Stop paying too much. Visit Zia online at zngc.com and fill out your application today. Zia Natural Gas Company, proudly serving New Mexico for over 30 years.
Rio Rancho Event Center in the quarterfinals, and they are going to be facing the 6th-seeded Penasco Lady Panthers. That's because Penasco surprised and upset number 3 Pecos 50-32 on Tuesday. And by the way, Penasco already has beaten Dulce earlier in the season, 57-47. So, you know, it's interesting. They also lost to Pecos 68-66 in triple overtime. I think only once have I ever called a triple overtime game. It's pretty rare, but they played them to a standstill, and then that was earlier in the season. That was back on January 6th. So when they met up with them again on Tuesday, there was already history between the two teams, and Penasco was able to come out ahead in order to play these Tatum Lady Coyotes. So even though they're a lower seed, I think Tatum, has got to come in and realize that this is a semifinal game, and this Penasco team, is capable of upsets, and they, could pull another one if Tatum isn't on their game and playing well. Penasco also played Mesa Vista. They're in a really tough district. They are in the same district as Mesa Vista, which is ranked seeded number one in this tournament in Class 2A. And Penasco has played Mesa Vista 4 times and lost all 4 times. So if there's when you're taking a look at a team that you're going to face, you look at the history and you look at all of that, and you look, these two teams have no games or opponents in common, not surprisingly, since they're from way up north and we're from way down southeast New Mexico, but they don't have any common opponents in this past season. But looking at the tournament history, the seedings, who's played whom and who's beaten whom, it's important to keep that in mind.
Well, it is, and Penasco is not your typical number 6 seed. You look at their record and you go, oh, well, we got this one. They're 19-11. 4 of those losses coming to the number 1 team in the state. Their other losses, a lot of times, especially when we're talking about the northern schools, we talk about kind of cream puff schedules. This Penasco team didn't play one. Their other losses, you mentioned Mesa Vista, Navajo Prep, who's playing in the 3A semifinals. Espanola Valley, who's a 4A school and traditionally a powerhouse. Los Alamos, 4A school that made the playoffs, also not a pushover. So this is not your typical 6 seed that you're going, oh, yeah, I mean, they're here, they're happy to be here. No, they really believe that they've got a shot at it, and they want another crack at Mesa Vista, who, of course, will probably be playing tomorrow.
And Penasco comes in at 17-11. They finished their district 8-2, second behind Mesa Vista. The Tatum Lady Coyotes, of course, come in seeded number 2 in the state, and they have a season record of 27-2, number 2 in New Mexico 2A All. Now, the 2 losses that Tatum has had have come against Tohatchi. They lost to Tohatchi back in December, and then they lost to Texaco 36-32, a much closer game on February 6th. So only those 2 losses for the Lady Coyotes, and of course they come off of that win on Tuesday against Dulce. So when they played pretty well. How would you characterize that game on Tuesday against Dulce? It was the 8 a.m. game, just like this morning here.
Another early morning game. But I would say that anytime you get a victory at the state tournament, you're going to be pretty happy about that. Tatum did not take care of the basketball in that game at all. Was looking over my stats and the official stats, and we weren't far off. I had Tatum with 30 turnovers. They had 25 officially in those stats, but there were over 40 turnovers for Dulce, so over 70 total in that ball game. And Tatum has got to take better care of the basketball. They also were not able to get their sight lines going in their shooting. They only attempted 5 3-pointers. Now, Tatum is not a team that lives and dies by the 3, but it is an important part of their game, and they did not make any 3-pointers in that ball game. Again, anytime you get a win, you're happy about that, but some things they definitely need to clean up and work on.
Dulce was extremely aggressive defensively. They were just all over Tatum, really pulling the ball away. I mean, they forced a lot of turnovers. It wasn't just sloppy play. Sometimes it was sloppy play on both sides, but they were both so ready to try to steal the ball and be defensively aggressive that both teams were really turning the ball around. Again, that was a combination of turnovers. It's been a while since we've seen both teams, commit that many turnovers. So yes, taking care of the ball, even in the face of real aggressive defense, is going to be important for Tatum. Also, Tatum, the player stats, were listed for Penasco in terms of averaging for this season, and Tatum is going to have to come in and look at 3 or 4 girls really hard. Penasco is not a 1-girl team. They are looking at your leading rebounder is Alexis Ormedo with 8.7 per game, but not far behind are a couple of other girls as well. Your leading scorer is one of your leading scorers, Rochelle Lopez, has 337 points on this season. And Annalise McCauley is actually leading in their points with 15.3 per game. But she also is capable of rebounding. She leads the team in rebounding, leads the team in blocks, and she's amassed 427 points this season, and she has 11 double-doubles. So McCauley is definitely one to watch out for. Also, Charnel Gonzalez she's not far behind in rebounding, 7.6 per game. She also has amassed 205 points. She's number 3 on this team in terms of points, but she has 3 double-doubles as well. And then Rochelle Lopez is leading in assists at 2.7 per game, steals at 2.9 per game, blocks at 0.4 per game, and she is second in points, in total points, at 337. So, this is a capable, rather deep Penasco team, especially for a 2A team. And at Tatum Lady Coyotes, of course, they've got a lot of firepower of their own. They're quick. They're normally, again, really making quick transitions and, good shooting close in, but also they've got 3-pointers to be able to pop those as well. Georgia Weir did a pretty good job on the boards for Tatum on Tuesday, and she's one of the girls that has some size for Tatum. And also having good games, Avery Hinnard, Sydney Rice, and of course Mariscal. Valerie Mariscal led Tatum in terms of points with 18 points, and she had 10 rebounds. But there were the Tatum shut down to some degree. They were able to control Dale, especially in the second half. But Dale was the player for Dulce that she went crazy with the points. Both she had a lot of 3-pointers as well as just scoring regularly. So, Tatum got warmed up on Tuesday, but they kind of got a taste of what a Northern New Mexico team that they haven't seen was going to be like here in this gym, in this venue.
Well, they did. You mentioned Dale, 19 points in that game, and Tatum, you also mentioned, did a good job shutting her down. Only 6 of those points coming after halftime, and so that was a good job for them. One thing that did stand out with Tatum, normally they rely on, their entire roster. Sydney Rice got in foul trouble early in that game, and really didn't get to play much in that first half. Was limited to just 5 points in the ball game, and when she went down, though, Naomi Garcia came in off the bench, scored 9 points off of the bench, and had 7 rebounds, and that's really kind of what helped put Tatum over the top, is that next girl up mentality that they had, and Monty Skull doing a great job. Avery Hennard with 9 rebounds in that game, chipped in 5 points. So, they're going to need everybody to take on this Pecos team. As we mentioned, not a typical number 6 seed taking on a number 2.
No. And we'll be back. We're going to run down the rosters if we have time, or at least give you the starting 5. Your Penasco Lady Panthers under head coach Mandy Montoya. And, of course, your number 2 Tatum girls. And they are under head coach Greg Slover. So we'll be back. We'll take a couple of minutes break and come back and get this one underway here. This is Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinals on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
IPS Incorporated is a proud member of this community. IPS is the turnkey solution in the oil patch. One call to IPS for your upstream and midstream solutions, comprising of dirt work, electrical, pumping, and crane service, plus your automation and control, is all handled with one call. One call for every aspect of your oil and gas project. Google IPS Hobbs or simply call 393-1417. IPS, the turnkey one-call oil and gas company.
Congratulations, students and student athletes of Lee County. R360 congratulates all Jow, Eunice, Hobbs, Lovington, Tatum, and the surrounding high schools, and wishes the best of luck to our student athletes competing this week in state playoffs. Right now is more important than ever to recognize positive achievements in our communities. Join R360 in saluting our amazing Lee County students. This community message is brought to you by R360.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics. Welcome back to Tatum Girls State Basketball Semis on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle, and we're just about ready for the national anthem and the introduction of players. So we'll go ahead and take another break and come back and run down the rosters, give you the starting 5, and get this one underway in just a couple of minutes. We'll be back soon right here on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called Smart Hub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcdcnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
The Tatum Schools are a proud sponsor of this live broadcast. Tatum Schools are very proud of every single student. With the dedication in the classroom and the dedication in your community, you've made all of Tatum and Lee County very proud. All your hard work is paying off, Coyotes. The entire staff, faculty, and administration wish you the best of luck. For more details about Tatum Schools, please log on to tatumschools.org.
Welcome back to Tatum Girls State Basketball, the semifinals on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle, and we have had the national anthem, and we're getting ready, and you can hear the crowd. We are looking at a bigger crowd for Penasco. Penasco is located up between Santa Fe and Taos, about an hour and a half away. And they brought a pretty good contingency. But, Tatum has got a decent-sized, loyal following located right behind us in the stands. So we'll definitely have some crowd noise for you. And we definitely want to talk about the teams as they're getting introduced right now. And for Penasco, we have a numberless girl. I don't know if they introduced her as 0 or not, but Sierra Atencio is on the roster. Number 1 is Ashley Madrid. Number 3, Alexis Romero. 10 is Catalina Atencio. 11, Rochelle Lopez. 12, Haley Martinez. 20, Cheyenne Martinez. 22, Annalise McCauley. 23 is Madison Real. 30, Charnel Gonzalez. And 42, Alyssa Atencio. For your Tatum Lady Coyotes, number 0 is Drennan Young. 1 is Avery Hindard. 2 is Arbor Young. 3 is Isabel Ramirez. 5 is Sydney Rice. 10, Valerie Mariscal. 11, Luan Villasenor. 15 is Naomi Garcia, 20, Georgia Weir, and 22, Colby Hennard. And our starting 5 for each team.
Well, they just announced them as a full team. So you've got number 3, Alexis Romero, number 11, Rochelle Lopez, number 22, Annalise McCauley, number 30, Jarnell Gonzalez, and number 42, Alyssa Atencio for the visiting Penasco Lady Panthers. And for us, it'll be number 2, Aubrey Young, number 10, Valerie Mariscal, number 1, Avery Hindard, number 5, Sydney Rice. And I'll see if I can catch that other number there. And number 11, Luan Villasenor.
And it's going to be Rice in the circle, going up for the jump against, I can only see the number 2.
That is McCauley.
All right, number 22, Annalise McCauley. So Rice versus McCauley. We're just about getting ready for this, the tip-off. Some final words, and the refs talking to each
You're
other.
listening to the Tatum Lady Coyotes on KIXN Hobbs, Kicks 103. Got to keep us legal.
All right, thank you very much. And the refs are talking among each other. They're ready. So we're ready. And the tip-off is controlled by your Tatum Lady Coyotes. That's Luan Villasenor with it. Quickly bringing it down to Hennard, top of the key, over to Rice. Rice moves it back out to Young on the right wing, into Rice. And a jump ball as 2 girls on the floor, as that is Rice and number 3, that's Romero. And the jump ball goes the way of blue. The Penasco Lady Panthers have blue jerseys with white numbers, white and gold numbers. And your Tatum Lady Coyotes are in their home whites with the red letters and numbers. Whoa. The inbound and the Lady Panthers are still in the back court. And that is Young, very tight on Lopez. And I think they say she stepped out of bounds.
They're actually checking the ball. And
okay.
This is a very interesting arena because there is ice under the floor here, as it is also an ice hockey arena. And we noticed when we were coming in this morning that the ice has been melting and sublimating and seeping up. It's actually an ice rink behind the floor. And so that can make some changes with the basketballs. And so they're checking the balls to make sure
that they're not wet, maybe.
That they're not wet and that they have the proper inflation.
That's right, because the cold can heat inflates and cold, detract. So All right, we have a viable game ball, so it's still Lady Panther ball. McCauley inbounding, gets it to Rochelle, across the timeline, left side. As Tatum guarding Young on her. Rochelle Lopez with the ball now, moving over to the left corner. Back up to the top of the arc to Gonzalez. Gonzalez over to the right, getting to Atencio. Tatum doing a very good job right now of keeping Penasco out of the paint, looking to steal, but now working up, moving up, getting free was number 30 Gonzalez with the layup from the left, and Penasco's on the board 2-0. Tatum quickly coming back down the other way, bounce pass in the lane from Hennard, intended up for Villasenor, and a fight for the ball. It's going to end up going out of bounds, and it's going to be the Lady Coyotes who will have possession. Rice will inbound just to the right of their own basket. She gets it into Villasenor, puts up the shot, up and in, and we're tied 2-2. So Villasenor puts up the first two for your Lady Coyotes. Coming the other direction, finally across the timeline on the left side, that's Lopez running the point for Penasco. Now works over to the right arc, and a whistle's called. They're going to call a foul on Sydney Rice.
Yeah, they're going to call the block on Sydney. Yeah, kind of a... Yeah, they let it go kind of at the other end. They didn't on this one.
Right,
so.
she just got a little close to her. It's on the floor. Penasco will inbound, get it. That is number 30, Gonzalez, thinking about the three from the right wing. Passes off instead to Lopez. Lopez pulls up, moves around to the left. They get it to Atencio on the left corner. Now back to Lopez on the left wing, passing it to Romero in the lane. She drives up, puts her hands up, and a foul is called. There was no shot, but she was going up for the shot and fouled by one of your girls, Aubrey Young, in number 2. It's her first foul and second team foul on Tatum. And that is going to put Romero at the line. She was in the act of shooting. First one's up, no good. Bricks off the front. So we're still tied, 2-2, 6:14 left to go in the first quarter of this semifinal. Everything feels a little bit slow getting started this morning. And it may just because it's so cold in here. And the second one is up and good. So now a 3-2 game here with Penasco in the lead. Tatum brings it down. That is Hennard running the point. Passes off. Young's got it. Passing very quickly into the right side. A trip through the lane by Villasenor. Loses the ball. Bounce passes over to Mariscal in the left wing, and it goes through her legs and out of bounds. So that's a turnover for your Tatum girls.
Second turnover for the Lady Coyotes.
Ball is put into play. And that is Lopez getting double teamed. Tatum being a little more aggressive right now, a little quiet, but the run into the basket unchecked. She passes it off, and was that number 10?
No,
Atencio, 22.
That was Gonzalez.
Gonzalez who put it up. She's got 4 of the 5 points now and makes it 5-2.
Left her alone on the baseline, and she took it to him.
She did. 5-2 is your score. Penasco leading by 3. Tatum passing around the arc. Looking for room, gives it to Hennard. Hennard pulls up and a jump shot, and she is in the books with 2 points. Makes it 5-4, Penasco leading. And that is McCauley running the point. Straight over to the right corner, a 3-point shot up, no good, air ball, and I believe that was Hennard with the rebound. A pass up to Young, and Young passing over to Mariscal. To the left of the basket. Mariscal was driving toward the blocks on the left side. It goes off of her hands, out of bounds. So that's turnover number 3 for the Lady Coyotes. Penasco inbounds. McCauley running the point. Cross center court, working quickly. Atencio now with a 3-point shot from the right wing. It doesn't fall. Goes off the backboard. And since nobody touched it, it will be Lady Panther and Lady Coyote basketball. Tatum will have it right in front of their bench, and it's Sydney Rice who will inbound. We have a player coming in for Penasco. Atencio went out, and I believe that's
Cheyenne Martinez.
Cheyenne Martinez
number
who
20.
comes in. Yep, number 20. Hennard brings it down. Sydney Rice driving through the lane, going to put up a shot. She draws a foul. And nope,
blocked by Gonzalez.
All right, just blocked, but last touched by Penasco. So it'll be Lady Coyote basketball. The inbound comes to Villasenor. passing it around. Back to Villaseñor in the lane. Oh, puts up a shot. It won't fall, and that's number 30, Gonzalez with the rebound. Brings it down, and Gonzalez will run the point, get it up to Lopez on the left wing. Lopez getting worked on by Young. Drives in, then kicks it out. A little jumper up and good as McCauley in the books now makes it with 2 more points. Make it 7-4. Penasco leading. But a quick transition down the court for Tatum as with the ball is Sydney Rice. Pulls up, tries a jumper, won't fall, and gets her own rebound. Gets it over to Villaseñor, up to Mariscara, over to Hennard. Now all the way back over and down to the right corner as Rice traveled as she was going to pass over to Villaseñor and just picked up that foot, slid it, picked it up. So that's turnover number 4 for the Lady Coyotes. I just have, do we have 1 or 0?
0 for Penasco.
0 for Penasco so far. Tatum going to have to take care of the ball a lot better and start shooting more. Penasco has had way more looks at the basket so far. Coming back down, this is number 22, McCauley with the ball. Leaving off for 30, Gonzalez. Looking for room. Tatum keeping him out of the paint. Now a pass in the lane is stolen away. And that is Villaseñor with the steal. Takes it coast to coast. And then catching up with her from behind. I think that was Lopez who poked the ball out. Stays Lady Coyote basketball. Tatum inbounds. They get it to Villaseñor. Over to Young. Passing in the run. Oh, and another turnover as a bad pass in the lane is picked off. And Penasco's got it. We have spent way too much time in the Penasco end of the court. They've had a lot more looks at the basket, and they've got a lot bigger time possession of the ball as they move it around and get it over to number 11, Lopez, and just almost a three-pointer, but not.
A three-pointer.
It was. I knew she had a foot on the line, or it looked like it, but it was a three-pointer. It makes it 10-4.
Yeah,
Tatum
NBA
trailing.
distance. It was on that back line.
Tatum trailing by 6 with the ball in their end, and a bad pass again in the lane is taken away. Number 6 turnover for Tatum. Give it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez drives top of the arc, passes over to the left to Lopez. Lopez getting worked on by Young. Drifts back near midcourt. Young trying to take it away. Now all the way back over to the left corner. A shot up, no good, and it is Hennard with the rebound, her second. A pass up to Young. Young with a fast break. Up and in from the right with 2 points. That's her first 2 points and makes it 10-6. Coming back quickly, though, it's Lopez getting double teamed, but she gets rid of the ball to McCauley. McCauley driving into the box on the right side, loses the handle on it, has to pass it out to Lopez, and now back to McCauley. McCauley spin move in the lane, turns up a little jump shot, no good. Hennard with her third rebound, saves it, gets it up to Rice. Rice gets it up to number 11. That's Villaseñor. Villaseñor going up for the shot, and right in front of her, tripping her up, and right in front, McCauley gets called for the block. So it's going to send Villaseñor to the line. Her first trip to the line, she's got 2 points and a steal in the game. It's 10-6. Penasco leading with 1:41 left in the first. First shot is up and no good. Bounces and banks off the right. Lots of subs coming in. We now have Weir, Georgia Weir coming in, and number 10, Mariscal going out for Tatum. And we had another couple, had a sub, and I didn't catch the number. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Second shot up, no good as well.
Sydney Rice with the rebound.
Yeah, Sydney got the rebound, but then a fight for it. She ends up on the floor. No foul, no call.
Jump ball called, and so it'll stay Tatum basketball.
Rice with her first board. And Tatum will have it. And that's Young going out. And coming in was 15, Garcia, Naomi Garcia. Inbounded, it goes to Garcia. And almost a travel, and Penasco wanted the travel, didn't get the call. A shot up by Rice, no good. A fight for the rebound. Hennard's going to come up with it, her fourth board, but then quickly stolen away. Another turnover for Tatum. And number 12, Martinez was the player who came in, and She takes the ball, bounce pass across the court intended for Gonzalez right in front of our table. It goes out of bounds. So that's turnover number 2, I believe, for Penasco.
Yes, it is. I keep wanting to call them Jowl. They have the blue and gold uniforms.
The Panthers, and they're the Panthers,
and they are the
right?
Panthers, very reminiscent of the Jowl Panthers.
7 turnovers for Tatum, though, but they're trailing by 4. They have the ball. They inbound, get it down in the lane, and Hinnard lost the handle on it. Picked off, turnover number 8. Penasco with the ball, bringing it down. 1:02 left in this first. That is Gonzalez passing off to to Lopez. Getting worked on hard by Sydney Rice. Being aggressive, a little more aggressive on the defense here, trying to force turnover, and she does. Although it was actually Villaseñor who gets it, and then stolen right back. The teams trade turnovers, and now Gonzalez has it. She's going to pull up midcourt, call for some and then a long pass into the paint is stolen away, and Tatum has it. They get it to Hinnard. Hinnard drives down, a little pull-up jump shot, no good. And this time it's number 3, Romero, with the rebound, her first for Penasco. Coming down the other way, that is number 30. That is Gonzalez. Gonzalez pulls up and tries a shot inside the arc. It won't fall. Weir with the rebound, her first. Now Hinnard down center court, moves it to the right, over to Villaseñor. Villaseñor puts a shot up, no good, and nobody touched it, but it goes out of bounds, so it's going to be Penasco basketball. And number 3, that is Romero, goes out, and 22 comes in. McCauley is back in. She will inbound.
Just 0.8 seconds left here in the first.
10-6, still your score, and now time is out at the end of the first quarter. It is 10-6. Penasco is leading. Tatum will be back with more Tatum Girls State Basketball, the semifinal game on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com.
Attention shoppers. Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week, you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington. Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jowl, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
Welcome back to Tatum Girls Basketball, State Basketball Semifinal on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. At the end of the first quarter, 10-6 your score. Penasco leading Tatum, and Tatum had 9 turnovers in that first quarter. There were 4 turnovers by Penasco. Penasco inbounds in the middle of the court, right in front of our table, and that is Lopez running the point. Gets it to Atencio in the left corner, driving back. Good defense by Tatum. Now a drive into the lane and a shot up. The ball is up, no good. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by Penasco, so it'll be Lady Coyote basketball. And it looks like Rice will inbound to Hinnard.
Lady Coyotes need to get the de-icer out here and start warming up. They have had way too many mistakes. Fortunately, Penasco not a whole lot warmer.
Tatum brings the ball down. Hinnard getting double teamed now. Ball's loose, but it's 15, Garcia with a shot up, no good, and number 30, Gonzalez with a rebound for Penasco. She'll run the point, bring it across the timeline right side, getting worked on by Villaseñor. Pass onto the right wing, and then a pass in the right blocks to McCauley. McCauley going up for the shot.
But they call her for the charge. Yep. A good job underneath by Hinnard to set the feet and take the charge. Fifth turnover for Penasco.
And it'll be, of course, it's a foul, and that is the first on McCauley.
Second.
I didn't write that down. Lady Coyotes have the ball. Hinnard running the point across the timeline. Center court over to Rice on the left wing. Now out to Garcia. Garcia over to Weir. Bounce pass in the lane back to Hinnard, and she'll reset in the right corner. And the ball forced out. Oh, and she loses it. I thought it was...
Yep, but no, it was poked out over there by McCauley, and so that'll save Tatum's possession. They'll inbound it in front of the Penasco bench.
It'll be Rice. Yeah, they get it in. Hennard, top of the key. And back over. A bounce pass to Georgia Weir in the right blocks. Weir going to go up for the shot, but somebody gets a handle on it. There were 2 or 3 Lady Panthers
tied
over
up by
there.
Romero under there, but fortunately possession arrow stays with Tatum.
So this is twice now that Tatum has sort of breathed a sigh of relief as they inbound it to Hennard in the right corner. A bounce pass to Rice, and then Rice getting double teamed, loses the ball, and a bounce pass is bad and thrown it away. So turnover number 10 for Tatum. Lady Panthers working quickly as driving across the baseline was Lopez, headed to the right corner, and a whistle sounds.
Yeah, ball goes out of bounds as Tatum got a hand on it, as trying to come down the backside was Lopez.
So it's going to be Lopez to inbound just to the right of their own basket. And they're going to look to get it in and make a quick shot. And they get it back to Lopez. Lopez takes a shot from the right corner, and no good. A fight for the rebound. It's going to be Lopez who ends up controlling it. That's 30 Gonzalez. Thank you. Passing it around. Oh, and a bad pass into the lane intended for Romero, taken away by Tatum. Hennard's got it. Get it to Sydney Rice in the right corner. And back to Hennard. Hennard fighting her way, trying to put up a shot from the right block. No good. And it's going to be number 30 again, Gonzalez with the rebound. That's her 4th. Gonzalez working. Pulls up, top of the arc, looking for room. Passes over to the right. And that is Lopez. Lopez back to Garcia. Garcia moves back, getting worked on by Sydney Rice. And almost stolen away by Villasenor. Still working the ball around. They get it to Romero in the left corner. She loses the handle on it. Some pretty good defense. I've noticed that Tatum is stepping up the pressure in their man-to-man defense.
But they're going to say Hennard got a hand on it, so it'll stay Penasco basketball. 10-6. Neither team has gotten anything yet in this second quarter.
Yeah, that's how we left the first quarter, 10-6, and it's 5:42 left in the second right now, and no score by either team. Amazing. They inbound to Gonzalez, drives in the lane, kicks it out over to number 20, Martinez, then back out to Gonzalez. Gonzalez moving over to the left now. No room. They pass it into the left block, trying to get Romero, and it goes out of bounds, and it'll be Lady Coyote basketball.
Good job inside by Villasenor and Mariscal. That really, they got in the way of that pass and made sure that it was fumbled.
Yeah, better defense now, and it looks like Tatum is moving the ball just a little bit better than they were. A shot up from the right corner by Tatum, no good. Hennard fights for the rebound, gets a handle on it, and they are going to call jump ball. They're going to say it's Penasco's ball. Still 10-6, just a little over 5 minutes left in this second now. A very low-scoring affair. Lots of looks at the basket by both teams. A very cold shooting, very cold gym. And Penasco's got it. Near the center court, Gonzalez. Now she works in. Bounce pass over to number 12, Martinez. That is Haley Martinez in the game for the first time. Haley drives in toward the basket and travels. So that's turnover number 5, 6, 7.
8.
Okay. I don't know if I've done my math wrong. I'm just looking at my figures wrong. 4:51 left to play in this second. And the Lady Coyotes have the ball. They bring it down. A shot up from three-point range of the right arc. It won't fall, and that's number 30, Gonzalez, with another rebound. That's her 5th. Fighting hard.
Bounds, but it'll stay Penasco basketball. Good defense, though, and hustle by Aubrey Young on that. A pass into Lopez. Lopez passes to number 3, that is Romero, who is in the right block, and she slips and falls, but they call her for the charge and the elbow. That's the elbow gouge. So that is going to be...
I believe on number 3, I think that was on Romero. That's her first foul. There are two Romeros. So the Lady Coyotes inbound, work it all the way down, get it to Hennard right underneath the basket. Finally, Hennard up and in. That's her 4th point, and that breaks the scoring drought. Finally, 4:25 left in the second quarter, and somebody scored. Oh, I thought it went in.
It did, and Hennard will get the and one.
Yeah, they just have it there. They finally go. They finally changed the scoreboard. I looked up and I thought, well, maybe I saw it wrong.
And I'm not sure who they whistled that foul on. I think they're going to put that foul on Rochelle Lopez, her first personal. So Hennard at the line for the and one.
And it does not go in, but a fight for the rebound. Villasenor almost had it, but it turns out that Gonzalez gets her 6th board and almost taken away, and I think they're going to call a foul maybe on Hennard.
Yep,
yes,
they're
they are.
Get Hennard on,
as Hennard was guarding Romero. That's like the 3rd time that Romero's gone down on the floor. I don't know that she's getting pushed that hard, but she's definitely falling. So the ball will go back to Penasco. And again, 10-8 is your score. Hennard with the 2 points, but did not make the free throw. Oh, and stolen away, as that's nice. Villasenor with the ball, with the steal, puts it up and trying for the layup from the left side. Does not go. McCauley with the rebound. McCauley gets it to Gonzalez. Oh, and a pass right underneath the basket to number 42, Atencio. And a fight for the rebound.
Sydney Rice gets the rebound, and
she does.
Then she's fouled.
Her 3rd board, and I think they call it number 3. Is that the second one on?
They're going to call that on McCauley. That'll be her 3rd personal, 3rd team foul. So McCauley's going to need to sit.
And, of course, McCauley's the one who leads their team in points per game, rebounds, blocks, and steals. Give it to the Lady Coyotes, 10-8. They trail by 2, 3:51 left. They bring it down, passing around the outside of the arc on the right side. Villasenor has got that. Now gets it over to Mariscal at the top of the arc. Now in, looking for room, having trouble penetrating the lane. They give it to Villasenor. She drives in and puts up a shot. It will not fall, and that is McCauley with the rebound.
And then they're going to get Villasenor for the hold foul.
There's a fight for the ball. And
Mariscal, pardon me.
Yeah, and that's number 10, Mariscal, so that's her first foul. She was reaching in, trying to grab that ball, and got arm and body instead. So McCauley will inbound, get it to Lopez. Lopez immediately getting worked on by Garcia. A pass up to Romero, and then up to number 11, Lopez. She drives into the lane underneath the basket. A whistle sounds.
Yeah, poked
the ball
away
goes out of side.
Yeah, it was poked away underneath. As a nice job by Garcia getting a hand on that. So Pecos will reset from the left baseline.
Yeah, that's number 15, Naomi Garcia for Tatum. And Lopez inbounds from the left of the basket. Passes off, gets the ball back. And now a 3-point shot up by Gonzalez, no good. And it was
Young with the rebound, and she feeds it forward to Rice.
And comes down the other way. On a pass, the ball pops up, but it is Sydney Rice who saves it from going in the backcourt. Now gets it over to Young. Young passes back over to the right to Mariscal. Mariscal over to the left to Villasenor. Villasenor works the ball, moves it top of the key. Now back over to the left. Mariscal takes it. Now it's Penasco keeping Tatum out of the paint. They are trying to move Garcia into the low post. But now working it is Mariscal, comes over into the right blocks, puts up a shot, and it does not go in. It bounces off to the left, and there's a fight for the rebound between Romero and
Sydney Rice actually got the rebound, and then she and Romero collided, and it went out of bounds. No foul called, but it will be a turnover for Tatum, their 11th.
And McCauley's got it. She inbounds and gets it up to... They give it to Gonzalez, drives in, puts up a jumper from the right of the basket. It's an air ball, goes out of bounds. It should be Tatum basketball, and it is. So 10-8 is still your score. We started this second quarter at 10-6. Tatum has put 2 points on the board, and that's been the only scoring. And we only have 2:17 left on the clock before halftime. Hennard inbounds, gets it to Garcia. Garcia runs the point. Back to Rice. Rice now over to Young. Tatum moving the ball over to the left. Mariscal getting double teamed. Gets it way back over to the right on the right wing to Villasenor. A no-look pass over to Sydney Rice, top of the key. Now back to the left to Mariscal. Now back to center court to Young. Now back to Villaseñor, who stops and tries to put a three-point shot in, but it is an air ball, goes out of bounds, and that'll be another turnover for the Lady Coyotes. And the score stays 10-8. A minute 46 left in the second quarter. And a little timeout taken. I'm not sure why. Just a quick one. Not by any coach, but the refs were just talking about something. The inbound is to Gonzalez. She runs the point to center court and gets bumped by Villaseñor. No call. Then passes over to McCauley. McCauley puts up a shot. No good, but she gets fouled. And that will put McCauley at the line. Who are they going to call that one on?
Let's see for sure.
14, 15 on Garcia?
Yeah, they're going to call it on Garcia. So that'll
That's
be
her first.
Just the third team foul on Tatum and McCauley at the line.
Yeah, and McCauley, it's her first trip to the line, and the first one rolls in and then bounces out. So a miss for her. She does have 2 points in the game, and I've got her down with 2 rebounds.
That is correct, by my numbers.
So second one is up, and that one finds the bottom of the net. And finally, Penasco scores in this second quarter. But, hey, Tatum has only scored 2 points in the second quarter. Coming the other way, a pass down into the left corner. Villaseñor wasn't quite ready for it. Goes off her hands and out of the corner, and that's another turnover for your Lady Coyotes. Inbounding will be McCauley. McCauley into Gonzalez, gets it back. McCauley will run the point. Crosses center court, leaves it off for Gonzalez. Gonzalez, top of the arc, looking for room. Getting worked on by Villaseñor, and they pass it off and getting to McCauley up near the basket on the right side. A shot up, no good. Hennard with the rebound. Gets it to Garcia, fast break. She brings it down the court. She's getting double teamed. A bounce pass is taken away. And that is McCauley with the steal, and then stolen right back by Villaseñor. The team straight turnovers, and Tatum's got it. Hennard with the ball as it's stripped away by Atencio.
Yeah, and then she got bumped, so I think they're going to get Atencio. No, actually, they are going to get Lopez for her second personal. Fourth team foul it is, and they're going to say that in the act of shooting was Hennard.
That'll put Hennard
actually, that's
up.
their fifth team foul.
And so Hennard will shoot 2 at the line. It's up and banks off to the right. No good.
Tatum is 0 for from the line, now 0 for 4 from the free throw line.
Hennard does have 4 points in the game, and 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got her down for 5 rebounds. Second one is up, and that rattles home. And now it is 11-9. Tatum trailing by 2. Penasco with the ball. 45 seconds left in the second quarter. Finally, across the timeline on the left side, they pass it off to McCauley. She drives in and actually gets tripped up by her own player.
And they're actually going to call an illegal screen. So moving screen, can't do that.
Yep, and got tripped up with Romero right there. So a turnover for Penasco. Give it to Tatum. They inbound in front of our bench. Working 32 seconds left. Sydney Rice with the ball. Over to Villaseñor. Now to Mariscal, top of the arc. Back to Villaseñor. Drives in. Kicks it out to Sydney Rice in the right corner. Then back up to Villaseñor. And then up to Hennard. Hennard drives in. Tries a bit of a shot from the right side. Won't fall. And it's going to be McCauley with the rebound. Gets it to Gonzalez. Finally across the timeline. Drives in across the baseline from the left. Puts the ball up, no good, but it's McCauley who gets the rebound.
And that'll be her 4th rebound, and that'll end the first half of play.
13-9 is your score. Penasco is leading Tatum. We'll be back with your halftime report right here. Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports, YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com.
IPS Incorporated is a proud member of this community. IPS is the turnkey solution in the oil patch. One call to IPS for your upstream and midstream solutions comprising of dirt work, electrical, pumping, and crane service, plus your automation and control is all handled with one call. One call for every aspect of your oil and gas project. Google IPS Hobbs or simply call 393-1417. IPS, the turnkey one-call oil and gas company.
Congratulations, students and student athletes of Lee County. R360 congratulates all Jow, Eunice, Hobbs, Lovington, Tatum, and the surrounding high schools, and wishes the best of luck to our student athletes competing this week in state playoffs. Right now is more important than ever to recognize positive achievements in our communities. Join R360 in saluting our amazing Lee County students. This community message is brought to you by R360.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called SmartHub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the SmartHub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the SmartHub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with SmartHub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
The Tatum Schools are a proud sponsor of this live broadcast. Tatum Schools are very proud of every single student. With the dedication in the classroom and the dedication in your community, you've made all of Tatum and Lee County very proud. All your hard work is paying off, Coyotes. The entire staff, faculty, and administration wish you the best of luck. For more details about Tatum Schools, please log on to tatumschools.org.
Attention shoppers, Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Welcome back to Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle, and your Tatum Lady Coyotes are trailing 13-9 at halftime. Yes, that's a halftime score, as there has just not been a lot of scoring. It was 10-6 at the end of the first quarter, and now Penasco putting up 3, and Tatum putting up 3 in that second quarter. So Tatum still trailing. And looking at the stats for Penasco, the leading scorer in the first half is McCauley with 5 points. She's got 4 rebounds and a steal to go with that. And Gonzalez, that's Charnel Gonzalez, has 4 points and 6 rebounds. And then you have Lopez, Rochelle Lopez with 3 points. Alexis Romero with 1 point, 1 rebound. And Penasco turns the ball over 13 times, and they go 2 of 4 at the line. For Tatum, your leading scorer right now is Avery Hennard with 5 points. She's got 5 rebounds to go with that. And then Villasenor has 2 points, 2 rebounds, 3 steals. You've got Aubrey Young with 2 points and 1 rebound. Then you've got Sydney Rice with 4 rebounds and Georgia Weir with 1 rebound. And Tatum turns the ball over 11 times, and they go 1 for 5 at the free throw line. Not a quick moving, really, it's fast paced as both teams are moving pretty well, but just a lot of turnovers on both sides. This is a little like the game that we saw Tatum play on Tuesday, but not nearly. We had about twice as many turnovers by both teams by halftime. So both teams taking care of the ball just a little bit better, but they're turning their ball over a lot and neither making points off of those turnovers.
No, it's been, just a complete kind of slugfest at this point. Neither team has come out and has hit anything. 29% from the field. That's what the Penasco Lady Panthers are shooting. Tatum, 19% of the field.
Yeah, it's
and
very,
just watching a couple of times, especially late in that second half, the Lady Coyotes came out, and they just had some problems. I think they're maybe a little too concerned about trying to get everybody involved. There were times when Rice, when Garcia, when Hennard would have an open look at the basket. They had an open lane and chose not to take the shot, passed it out, and 2 or 3 times when that situation arose, it was a turnover. They cannot be afraid to go out and take those shots, and they're going to have to get it in gear here, or they're going to be looking at going home early.
And trailing only by 4 points, but luckily both, if they're facing, Penasco's having the same types of problems, but they seem to be, they're in possession of the ball more. They hang on to it for longer. They've taken more looks, more shots at the basket for sure. It's really nice that here at the state tournament, they do stats and they bring them to us quarterly. So we don't actually have to, although we, all the numbers that we gave you were our own stats at first, but now looking at the sheet, it's nice to see percentages. They figure out the percentages, for us on those, and we can compare what we've got as to what they've got. And a lot of times we don't stop to figure out the percentages in terms of shooting and keeping up with some of the other, just more detailed stats like offensive rebounding and so forth. But having said that, it's just a really odd game so far. It's quiet. It's slow. And I don't know whether it's because it is noticeably chilly, in this venue. As we mentioned before, there's an ice rink underneath this, and it's just contributing to the cold. In fact, some of that was seeping up on the ends, not on the floor. Now, the floor is not wet or anything, but it is seeping up on the covering that they have in the seating area on both ends of this venue. Behind the baskets, but the air is noticeably cooler, and the cold is coming up from the floor, and it's got to be making a difference. I think the players are just having a little trouble waking up and just being fully present,
waking up and warming
everything.
Up, and just being able to. And I know it's affecting me. I feel that slowness and that brain, sort of a brain fog this morning, and it makes me wonder if the players are kind of feeling that too in here. It's kind of contagious too, it feels like. So, but plenty of action. Definitely, and plenty of shooting, just not a lot of scoring. As Tatum has taken a lot of looks at the basket, and it's just that things are just not falling, and they're not getting a chance to go up. A lot of those shots are getting blocked, or the ball is getting ripped away, or jump balls are being forced. I mean, it's just interesting. It's not really clearly defined play, as Penasco will also start, forcefully off of a turnover or from an inbound and get it down the court, but then kind of get clogged up, in the lane. And to their credit, the Lady Coyotes are doing a pretty good job on defense as well. Defense for both of these teams is working well. It's the offensive rhythm that they're both having trouble developing and sustaining, and the shooting for both the teams just has been sluggish. Yeah, there's just not much that they've been able to do. So both teams back out as the clock winds down. We are ready for the second half of action here on Kicks 103, the Tatum Sports YouTube channel, and on HobbsAmerica.com. Winner moves on to take on the winner of Tularosa and Mesa Vista tomorrow afternoon at 5. Fortunately, not on the covered ice rink, but over at
in
the
pit. That's right.
At UNM. Of course, we'll be at the pit later on today. 1:15 this afternoon. Hobbs Lady Eagles taking on Mesa Vista on our sister station, Eagle 100.5.
And we're ready to get this second half tipped off here. It'll be Tatum basketball, and it's going to be Sydney Rice inbounding from midcourt right in front of our table here. We are sitting courtside, and they get it to Hennard. Quickly, I've noticed that Tatum picking up the pace just a little bit quicker. However, they're still passing around the outside of the arc, trying to look for some room. They get it to Hennard. Hennard pops it's not a tray. She pops it from the right corner and on the board. So 13-11 now, and a fight for the ball, and Tatum forces a turnover, and quickly they pass it to Young. Young drives the lane, puts up a shot, won't fall, but she is fouled. So Tatum making some adjustments. I think a fire got lit maybe at halftime, and they're coming out with noticeably more energy, faster, quicker play, faster passes, and Young at the line to shoot, and the first one rattles home. So Young has 3 points in the game now and makes it 13-12. Tatum trailing only by 1. She can tie it up here. Less than 30 seconds into the second half, and she does. Nothing but net. So now you feel like the Tatum girls are cooking. Penasco with the ball, though. It's a Lopez coming down the court, and Young on her. She drives in all the way to the blocks and then pulls out and gets the ball back. Starts left. Young right on her. Gets it over to the right corner for Atencio. Atencio gets it all the way over to Gonzalez, and now back to midcourt. And that is Lopez going to drive to the left. Leaves it off for McCauley. McCauley pulls off. It's Gonzalez at the top of the arc, and now back to Lopez in the left corner. And then the pass is over to McCauley. She puts up a shot, won't fall, but it is number 3, Romero, with the rebound. And now they'll pull back out and reset. Gonzalez, top of the arc. Moves over to the left, gets it to Lopez in the left corner. Lopez drives across, puts up a shot, and it bounces off. A fight for the rebound, and it's going to be controlled by Romero. Romero goes up trying to put up a shot, and she's going to get fouled by Sydney Rice.
Then for Sydney, that'll be her second personal, just the first team foul on the Lady Coyotes, but they're going to say Romero was in the act of shooting.
And she will go to the line. She's 1 for 2 at the line. Her first one is up and no good. Bounces off to the left. So she'll have another shot at it. She's got 1 point in this game and 3 rebounds now. 6:38 left in this third quarter. We're all tied, 13 apiece. Romero at the line to shoot for Penasco, and nothing but net on that. So now she's got 2 points in the game. Penasco up by 1. But here come the Lady Coyotes, and that is Garcia running the point now. Over to Hinnard, left side to Young. Back to Hinnard, top of the arc. Now over to Villasenor. And then they get it to Garcia. Garcia drove over to the baseline and puts it up from the right, blocks up and in for 2 points. And then a fight for the rebound. Penasco loses control, the inbound rather. And Penasco loses control, but they get the ball back and they inbound in front of the Tatum bench. A pass going down intended for Lopez, blocked.
Villasenor doing a nice job getting in that passing lane, just batted away.
Even though it was blocked, it goes out of bounds, and last touch by a good defensive pressure by Tatum. That's going to be Gonzalez working the ball around. Atencio back to Gonzalez on the right wing. Now a pass in the lane intended for McCauley, but Tatum gets a handle on it, and Hinnard comes up with it. So a turnover for Penasco. A pass into the right corner, then back to Hinnard. Hinnard takes a look at the basket. It won't fall, and Romero with the rebound. She gets it to Atencio. Atencio drives in, puts up a shot. It does not fall. It bounces off the backboard, but whistle sounds, and I think they're going to call a foul on Young.
Yeah, they're going to get Young for the block. She was just a little bit out of position, couldn't get her feet set and her arms straight up.
Alyssa Atencio, that is going to go to the line. Her first trip to the line. She has no points and no rebounds in the game. But her first shot is up and no good. Bounces off to the left. So we're still 15-14. Tatum with a slim 1 point lead here. 5:44 left to play in the third quarter. Atencio with her second try, and that one is going to find the bottom of the net. She's on the board with 1 point, and we're tied up again, 15-all.
Both these teams on the season averaging over 50. I don't think you would have believed a 15-all score with 5.5 to go in the third.
Yeah, crazy. It's Tatum with the ball, move it around the outside of the arc. Young gets it over to Villasenor. She drives in the lane and puts up the shot from the right, up and in, and now she's got 4 points in the game. And Tatum goes up 17-15. Coming down the other way, though, it is Gonzalez. Gonzalez gets it to Lopez in the left corner. She drives in across the baseline, puts up the shot. It glances off of the baseboard, or off of the backboard, and stays Penasco ball. And then Lopez gets it. She puts up a shot. It won't fall, goes out of bounds, stays Penasco basketball. She will inbound to the left of their basket, get it to McCauley. Leaves it off for Lopez. Lopez, turnaround jumper, puts up a shot, doesn't fall, but she draws a foul, and they're going to call that one. Is that going to be also on Garcia?
Yep, that'll be her second personal, third team foul on Tatum.
And that's going to send Lopez to the line. Her first trip to the line, and nothing but net on that. So she's got 4 points in the game now. She'll have another chance at it. 17-16. She's got a chance to tie this back up here. 5 minutes exactly left in the third quarter. And she does. 17 all right now. Lopez with 5 points in the game for Penasco. And give the ball back to the Lady Coyotes as they inbound. Pass it forward. Find Mariscal. Mariscal puts up the shot. And yes, now it's Tatum 19-17. Mariscal in the books finally in the game today. She was the leading scorer on Tuesday. And give it to Gonzalez. She works it in, gives it to, passes it off to McCauley. McCauley puts up a shot. It won't fall, but the rebound and the putback.
Got her own rebound and her own putback.
And 2 points for her, and now we're tied again, 19 all.
She leads everybody.
Mariscal gets the pass down the court on the left. Gets it back to Hennard. Hennard getting worked on tight. Passes to Garcia. Now got Garcia to Mariscal, and a bump foul. They should get Martinez for that. Cheyenne Martinez for that.
Her first personal. That'll be the second team foul on Penasco.
And it'll be on the floor, and that's going to be Garcia, who will inbound from the end of the Tatum bench by the scorer's table. She passes to Hennard, back to, and then they get it to Mariscal. Mariscal tries to put up a shot. It won't fall, and that's going to be McCauley with a rebound.
And they probably should have continued to drive it on McCauley. She's already got 3 fouls. Need to attack her and see if you can get her out of the game.
Penasco coming down. They get it to Lopez on the left side. She dribbles all the way to the right, leaves it off for McCauley. McCauley drives in, puts up a shot. It bounces off, and it goes into Villaseñor hands, so that's a rebound for her. She will drive down and just go coast to coast, try to put it up. But the ball is stripped away by McCauley, goes out of bounds, and I think it should stay.
Yeah, it'll still be Tatum basketball.
Yeah, it'll still stay with the Lady Coyotes, and that's going to be Villaseñor who inbounds. And as
Coach,
number 22, I think
quickly gets McCauley out of there.
McCauley is off, and because she's got 3 fouls. A shot up, no good, but Tatum with the rebound, and then a bad pass. It goes out of bounds. So
actually, the rebound by Martinez for Penasco, and then Tatum swats it out of bounds.
I thought I saw Hennard with it, so. But I had traffic between here and there. So Sydney Rice will come in. Hennard goes off. And that turnover gives the ball to the Lady Panthers. They inbound. Lopez still trapped in the backcourt, getting double teamed. Finally makes it across and taken away, but then taken right back as the teams trade turnovers, and a loose ball on the court in the backcourt. And 2 girls actually collide.
They're going to call Garcia for the
yeah, she ends up
foul.
with Martinez on her, has to wait for Martinez to get up so she can crawl back out, and they'll call that again on Garcia. The inbound to Lopez. Lopez puts up a shot, and then she gets fouled.
Nope, she charged.
No, she charged. There you go.
So her third personal, that'll be the 16th turnover for Penasco in their third team foul.
Yeah, as they had 13 at the half. They've had 3 since then. So give the ball over to Tatum. They're still in the backcourt. Clock is ticking. Villaseñor's got it, drives onto the right wing. Then back over to Rice. Rice gets it to Young. Young drives in. Gives it to Rice. Rice looking for room. Puts up the shot from the right side. It's going to roll home. And she had 3 Lady Panthers all over her. I don't know how she managed to find that through. Now Tatum trying to trap him to the backcourt, and they are still, as that's Gonzalez with the ball, and then taken away by Garcia. A steal, and she passes it up. Garcia puts up a shot. It won't fall, and that's Villaseñor with the rebound in the putback, and 2 more points for Tatum as they've gone on a little roll, and it's 23-19, a 4-point lead by Tatum at 2:43 left to go in the third, and a timeout is taken. It's a full one. We'll be back in 30 seconds with Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
Welcome back to Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle. And out of the timeout, it is 23-19, Tatum with a 4-point lead, and it feels like it's about, a 40-point lead just because we were stalled and for so long. And then finally, more scoring taking place for both teams here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Tatum,
tied up. It's like 3 different times.
Yeah,
and
Tatum finally starting to warm up.
Yeah, and Tatum trying to inbound, and it goes off, and they actually turn over the ball as Sydney Rice was trying to inbound, comes in, and now the ball on the inbound taken by Gonzalez as she tries to go drive across the center court on the right side. Good defense as Hennard came along. The ball popped up, but it stays Penasco basketball. And now McCauley has it. She drives in to the right blocks. And I tell you what, Hennard gets a handle. Sydney Rice and Hennard are both there. And yeah, she traveled. It was really good defense, forcing the travel and the turnover. That is number 17. Give it to Tatum. They've got it. Young drives in to the right. Hands it back off to Hennard. Hennard gets it out. Tatum passes. They get it in the lane to Villasenor. She's looking to put one up. It won't fall. Fight for the rebound. McCauley controls it. 23-19 still the score. Oh, and a steal by Villasenor. But a whistle sounds, and they're going to call. Yep, she palmed the ball.
Backcourt violation.
Yep. And so give it right back over to Penasco. So that, I believe, is that turnover number 14?
12.
12 only for Tatum. So Penasco has the ball. They inbound from the left, just at the end of the table here where we are. They get it to Lopez. Lopez having trouble as there was good defense by Sydney Rice on that. It goes out of bounds, and they're going to call Sydney Rice with a foul.
And that'll be her third personal, 15th foul on the Tatum Lady Coyotes. And so Penasco going to try and chip back into this one from the line, and just under 2 minutes to go in the third.
And that sends Lopez to the line as she's is 2 for 2 and has 5 points in this game. And the first one is up and nothing but net. I think if just for the future, Tatum does not want to foul her.
Probably not.
3 for 3 at the line. And that one's going to find the bottom of the net, too. She's perfect at the line and makes it 23-21. Penasco pulling within 2 of Tatum with 1:54 left in the third. They bring it down, get it to Aubrey Young, and Aubrey Young putting up the shot, gets the ball blocked away and taken away by Penasco. They get it to Atencio. She passes over to the left to Lopez, right on the left wing, getting worked on by Young. Drives back over to the left corner, looking for room, getting worked on by Sydney Rice, and the ball goes off of Sydney, out of bounds. It'll stay Penasco basketball. So from the left corner, Gonzalez will inbound. Looking, as good defense. Nobody to give it to. She bounces it in and gives it to Sydney Rice. Sydney passes over to Villasenor. Villasenor up and in from the right. 2 points off of that turnover. Oh, and then the ball goes out of bounds off of, I believe that was 11, off of Lopez. And it'll be Lady Coyote basketball as chasing it, going a full tilt with good hustle with Sydney Rice, and she ends up falling out of bounds.
She hits the ice that is literally frozen over at either end of the court here.
Yeah, that's a very hard, cold flooring that is placed over this ice rink here at the Rio Rancho Event Center. And timeout is taken And we're just going to keep it right here. It's 25-21 right now after that. 2 points dumped in by Villaseñor. 25-21, a 4-point lead by Tatum. A minute 23 left to go in this third quarter. As finally both teams, I think they got a fire lit under them. Both teams at halftime came out looking a lot more awake and ready, energetic, and faster play. And more shooting and...
Yeah, Tatum's doing a nice job.
Too.
They're not making too many passes this time. And when they're seeing the opening, they're going for it.
McCauley inbounds, gets the ball back, takes it across the timeline, right side, and leaves it off for Gonzalez. Gonzalez out near midcourt, now moves over outside the right wing, getting worked on by Mariscal. Gets it to Lopez. Lopez on the left side, works it back over, top of the arc. Worked on by Rice. The ball pops up, but Atencio saves it. Now she's getting swarmed. And they pass it in the lane to McCauley. She puts it up and in from the left. And now Penasco, 23 points. Tatum with a 2-point lead at 25. Tatum kind of slows down a bit. Hennard crosses the timeline center court, passes it off, gets it back. Outside the arc on the left, Rice to Villaseñor. Over to Young, over to Mariscal. And now to Rice in the right corner, all the way top of the arc, over to Villaseñor. And now over to Hennard. Hennard back to Rice. And now they finally find Hennard, who works her way into the low post and gets the ball, but a fight for it. And a jump ball is going to be called as Rice had her hand on it, and I think that was Romero. But the arrow goes the way of Penasco. McCauley will inbound, trying to get it over to Romero, and she's pushed from behind by Aubrey Young.
So that'll be Aubrey's third personal, and they'll take the 85-foot walk down to shoot free throws.
Romero spins, and that there are a couple of, is there just one Romero on the team. There are two Atencios, two Martinezes, and one Romero. She spends as much time on the floor as she does standing up on the court, I think. She will go to the free throw line. She has made 2 of 4. And this one bounces off. Score 25-23. Tatum leading by 2 with 17.4 seconds on the clock in the third quarter. Romero taking a long time to put up her second one, and it falls through. So now 25-24. She's got 3 points in the game. Lady Coyotes coming the other direction. Hennard runs the point, brings it down. Passing all around the outside, gets it back in the left corner. Now to Mariscal, who drives in, puts up a little jumper, and it won't fall. But with the rebound is Villaseñor. A shot up, no good at the buzzer at the end of the third quarter. Wow, now we have a very close game. Tatum 25, Penasco 24, and we'll be back in 30 seconds with more Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com.
IPS Incorporated is a proud member of this community. IPS is the turnkey solution in the oil patch. One call to IPS for your upstream and midstream solutions, comprising of dirt work, electrical, pumping, and crane service, plus your automation and control, is all handled with one call. One call for every aspect of your oil and gas project. Google IPS Hobbs or simply call 393-1417. IPS, the turnkey one-call oil and gas company.
Welcome back to Tatum Girls Basketball, the semifinal game here on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle, and it's 25-24, Tatum with a 1-point lead. And they are looking to try to win this one so they can move on to play either the number 1 ranked team in the state in 2A West Mesa or number 4 Tularosa on a Friday afternoon at the pit. But they've got one more quarter, and they've got to hang on and try to stretch their lead out against a very game Penasco team here. And Tatum will inbound at midcourt. That is Rice into Hennard. Hennard running the point, passes off to the left to Rice, over to the right to Mariscal. Mariscal thinks about taking the shot, pulls up, passes to Hennard on the right instead. Then Young bounce passes. Then the ball kicked back out. Now to Hennard in the left corner. She takes the shot. It won't fall. There was a fight for the rebound. I think it was last touch by Mariscal. Nope. They're going to say last touch
by Gonzalez.
So It stays Tatum basketball. Rice inbounds to Hennard. She thinks about the shot, but she's got traffic in front of her. She passes to Mariscal, now to Young. Young passes back to the right corner to Sydney Rice. Now passing over to the left as Tatum just looking for position, looking to work somebody in the low post, and nobody's there yet. Hennard finally is there, but no room. She's getting guarded in the paint by McCauley. So Tatum still trying to find room. Now they get Mariscal. Mariscal fights her way through traffic, puts up a shot, but she traveled before she put the shot up. And, I think she took one too many steps there in front of the basket.
Yeah,
but
picked up the pivot foot.
Yeah, but it really forced by good defense by Penasco. Now Penasco looking to inbound. McCauley couldn't find anybody. Finally, Gonzalez goes over there, getting double teamed. Still trapped in the backcourt. Tatum trying to force a turnover, and they got Romero trapped. Strips the ball away. I think that was Hennard. It goes out of bounds, but it'll stay Penasco basketball. So now McCauley will go inbound right in front of the Tatum bench. Of course, at their end of the court. Oh, she gets it into Gonzalez. Gonzalez under good pressure by Mariscal over in the left corner. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Tatum basketball. Now it will be Rice to inbound. Gets it out to Villasenor. To Hennard. Hennard takes a three-point look. Won't fall, but the rebound by Villasenor and the putback does, and it makes it 27-24. Tatum with a three-point lead.
Villasenor now with 10 points in the game.
McCauley with the ball, getting worked on by two Tatum girls, and the ball comes loose on the court. Mariscal falls on it. She has a hard fall. She was there with Villasenor. Takes the basketball. And the ball, they go, I think they went, it was a jump ball, and it goes the way of Penasco as they were close to being, it was a free-for-all out on court. They were close to being out of bounds. A foul is going to be called
on Aubrey Young.
And they call Young.
That's
her
fourth.
That's her fourth now. She got one in the first half and now has drawn three in the second half. So she will come out, and Naomi Garcia will go back in for Tatum. It's going to be Gonzalez who inbounds for Penasco up to Lopez. Lopez drives over to the right wing, and a foul is called. They're going to call the block foul or trip foul on Garcia.
They're going to call it on Rice. They're going to call a block on Rice.
Boy, and that is her fourth. Wow.
And the second quick team foul for Tatum.
And we've got some Tatum girls who are getting in foul trouble here with 3 and 4 on him. Penasco inbounds. They get it to Lopez. Lopez drifts out to the right wing. Leaves it off for Gonzalez. Back to Lopez. Now into McCauley. McCauley puts up a shot, a little floater, a jumper from the right block, and it goes in as McCauley's got 2 more points in the game and makes it 26 for Penasco, 27 for Tatum.
And now McCauley with 11.
And they're hanging on, Tatum hanging on to that 1-point lead. Passing around the outside of the arc. Just passing around. Good defensive pressure by Penasco. Senor's got it. She drives in, passes to Mariscal. Now she drives across the baseline, puts up a little shot. It doesn't fall, hits the bottom of the rim. A fight for the rebound, and they're going to call Mariscal for the foul. Yep. As I think who'd she get? McCauley on the arm?
She went over the back on the rebound. So that'll be the third team foul on Tatum.
And that's the second foul on Mariscal. She's got a couple points in the game. Penasco's really controlled her. She was, of course, she had 18 points and 10 rebounds in the Tatum win on Tuesday. So Penasco's got the ball. They inbound, still in the backcourt. Still there, Lopez finally across the right side. Getting guarded by Garcia. They get it to Atencio. Now into McCauley. She's in the lane. She passes off to Romero. And from the left block, a shot up. No good. It spins, falls back. A fight for the rebound. A jump ball is called. And this one's going to go the way of Tatum.
Yeah, Mariscal fighting for the rebound with Romero.
27-26 still is your score. Tatum with a 1-point lead over Penasco. 5:30 left to play in the game. 5:30 left in this one. Tatum will inbound. They'll inbound from the Penasco end with no defensive pressure coming across the line. Tatum going to pass around. Get Garcia. Garcia into the left blocks. Has to bounce pass it back out. Pass to Hennard from the right corner. She puts up a shot. It won't fall. And then it bounces out of bounds. The last touch by Tatum. So it's going to be Penasco basketball. Tatum with that 1-point lead. 5:13 left. And I think we have a timeout taken by Coach Greg Slover. and it's going to be a full 60. So we'll be back in 30 seconds with more Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinals on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com.
Congratulations, students and student athletes of Lee County. R360 congratulates all Jow, Eunice, Hobbs, Lovington, Tatum, and the surrounding high schools, and wishes the best of luck to our student athletes competing this week in state playoffs. Right now is more important than ever to recognize positive achievements in our communities. Join R360 in saluting our amazing Lee County students. This community message is brought to you by R360.
Welcome back to Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle and Greg Slover, head coach for Tatum, with a timeout.
And I think that's a good timeout for the Lady Coyotes. 27-26, as he needs to get them refocused. They've picked up a couple of fouls. They've kind of gotten a little bit wild and crazy out there. He needs to rein them back in and get them refocused. They're still up by 1, but still anybody's game.
Young has 3 fouls on her. Rice has 4 fouls on her. And Mariscal with 2 fouls. Garcia with 3 fouls. So, yes, a lot of the Tatum girls in a little bit of trouble here. Penasco inbounds. They get into Tencio, and she drives down quickly. A bounce pass over to McCauley, but it goes awry. It's taken away, and Sydney Rice has it. She gets it up to Hennard. Hennard up to Villaseñor in the corner. She passes off to Mariscal, and Mariscal with a jumper goes in, and she's got 2 more points. She's got 4 in the game now. Makes it 29-26, and this is what Tatum needs to do, is stretch out their lead here. And that's McCauley with the ball coming the other way. Passes it off to Lopez. Lopez puts up a 3-point shot, won't fall. And there's a fight for the rebound on the right side. Picked up, taken by Sydney Rice. That's her 5th board.
7th.
And thank you. Bounce pass to Hennard in the lane from the right. Oh, it goes up and bounces. It kind of spins in and comes out. And a fight for the rebound. Garcia had her hand on it, but so did McCauley. And they're going to call the jump ball. And it's going to be Penasco ball as number 12 for Penasco. Martinez comes out. Romero is in. And McCauley will inbound underneath the Tatum basket. She's going to get it over to Gonzalez. And Gonzalez loses the handle on the ball. Good defensive pressure by Mariscal over there. Goes out of bounds in the corner. And it's going to be a turnover, as it will be Tatum ball.
That'll be turnover number 22 for the Lady Panthers. So Tatum, if they can cash in on this, would get it to a full 2-possession lead. You got the feeling 35 might win this one.
29-26. Tatum with a 3-point lead. 4:19 left to play in this game. Mariscal in the right corner getting trapped up. Passes out to Sydney Rice, top of the arc. They get it to Hennard. Hennard pulls up and puts up a shot. It rolls in and out. The fight for the rebound. Mariscal has her hands on it, but so did, I think, McCauley. Jump ball. And it's going to be Tatum basketball. Sydney Rice will inbound just to the left of the Tatum basket to Hennard. Hennard drives out, gets it to Villaseñor. She pulls up, top of the arc, back to Hennard, left wing. Now over to Mariscal in the right wing. All the way over to Sydney Rice again. She drives in the lane. A bounce pass to Hennard. Hennard, nice, beautiful assist by Rice on that.
Nice job by Hennard to find her little space over on that baseline.
Put it up and in, and now Tatum with a 5-point lead. Penasco with the ball, though, and Lopez with it on the right wing to Tencio. Tencio, a fight for the ball. No foul. As now there is a whistle as a girl is down. And there was just a
big
fight
collision
for the
over on that left
there
base,
was
right base.
4 bodies flying over there. Everybody with their hands up, fighting for the ball. And Tatum fought for the ball and took it away, and there was no call as far as a foul or a jump ball or anything. But in the melee, one of the Penasco girls ended up on the floor, and they're just going to check and see that she's okay.
Yeah, that's Rochelle Lopez, so she's going to have to come out, and they're going to have to check. She went down hard.
She did. She was on, I think, she was face first on the floor. I don't know what body parts ended up hitting, but it was a hard fall. So play will resume, and she's ready to come right back in. Next opportunity. Tatum with the ball outside their arc, and that is Villaseñor. They pass it around to Hennard in the left corner. Now back out to Villaseñor at the top of the arc. To Garcia. She passes back in. They find Hennard. Hennard has to pull back out, though. Get it over to the right. Now back to Hennard. Hennard getting worked on by Atencio. Bounce pass over to Mariscal in the left wing. Now back to Villasenor, top of the arc.
Good idea
now
for
over
Tatum
to the right
here.
for Sydney Rice. And now Rice to Mariscal. And Mariscal finally puts it up and no good. Fight for the rebound. Hennard came down with it. And it stays Tatum basketball as Villasenor has it. Now off to Sydney Rice, Mariscal in the right corner. And she takes a step forward. It was Gonzalez on her very tight. And they are going to call the foul. And they're going to call it on 30 on Gonzalez. And very push foul, and that's a good. It's a very good time. That's only the first foul on her.
Yes, it is, but a very good time for Tatum. They're running clock, and Penasco sees that. They're going to have to start fouling pretty quick.
And the inbound comes in. Gonzalez has it. No room though, as everything collapsed around her in blue. So Tatum has to pull it back out. Very tight defense. They get it to number 11, though, that Villasenor drives in the lane trying to put up a shot, but I think she gets fouled, or does she commit the foul?
Nope, they're going to say that she just threw it out of bounds. It was partially tipped, but they said she touched it last, so it goes back to Penasco.
So that's going to be number 22, Macaulay, who inbounds. She gets it to Lopez. Lopez pulls back, still in the backcourt. Now crosses on the left, almost stolen away. She gets it back. Good tight defense by Tatum. 2:20 left to play in this game. Tatum's up by 5, 31-26. Macaulay drives in. She passes over to Romero. Romero in the left block puts up a shot. It hits the bottom of the backboard.
And they're going to get Sydney Rice for the foul, and if I'm not mistaken, that's
her
5.
fifth. Yeah, I know that's her 5th. Yeah.
And so she'll foul out of the game, but Sydney got the worst part of that one as she got popped in the eye for a problem.
I saw it was in the face. I didn't know if it was in the nose or in the eye. She's okay though, and it's going to be Aubrey Young who checks in for her. Sydney Rice fouling out, and Sydney had she fouls out with 6 points.
2 points.
And 4, I'm sorry. She had 4 rebounds at halftime. She's added a rebound and then made 2 points. So 2 points. I was looking at the rebounds, calling them points. 5 rebounds, 2 points. And number 3, Romero at the line makes the first one. And that makes it 31-27. Tatum with a 4-point lead. 2:15 left to play. Romero with the second one. Skies it, bottom of the net. 3 straight at the free throw line now. For her, she's only missed twice. It makes it 31-28. Now just a 3-point lead by Tatum and a full 60-second timeout taken. So we'll be back in 30 seconds with more Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal on Kicks 103 Tatum Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
And out of the timeout, we're back to play with just 2:15 left in this game. Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal on Kicks 103 Tatum Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. 31-28 over Penasco, and Tatum Girls will have the ball. They will inbound just to the right of the Penasco basket, and that is Villasenor over there. As the whistle sounds again, now we're ready. And Villasenor looking for Garcia. Garcia up to Mariscal. Mariscal up to Hennard. Hennard driving in, pulls back out. Gets it to Villasenor. Villasenor to Garcia. Garcia passes over. They get it to Villasenor. She's going to pull out. Tatum just going to pass around the arc, burn some clock here. They've got a 3-point lead. They're going to burn the clock and make Penasco come after them.
And they can afford to be patient and find a good shot here. You're up by 3. But you need more points.
And that is Garcia getting worked on hard by whistle sounds. He's getting worked on by Lopez. And finally, they're going to call the foul on 42
Atencio.
42. I thought he had a 3 and a 2 up. So Elisa Atencio with the foul. It's on the floor. And Tatum inbounds. That is Villasenor passing off, then gets it back, drives to the top of the arc. Gets it, leaves it off for Hennard. Hennard to Garcia. Garcia getting worked on hard by Lopez. Almost loses the ball to her. then gets it to Villaseñor. Villaseñor drives out, gets it to the right arc, looking to pass, can't find anybody, and she turns around. And timeout is taken. So Greg Slover kind of saves the day there. He wants to talk to the girls. 1:18 left on the clock. And this one's just a 30-second timeout. So we're going to keep it right here. As the score is 31-28. Tatum with a 3-point lead. And 1:18 left to play in this game, TJ.
Well, it was, and a very slow game, especially in that first half. It was 13-9 at halftime. So things have picked up a little bit here in this second half. And Tatum goes on a 16-11 run in the third to take the lead, and they have not relinquished it since, but they've still got to hang on for 1:18, and Coach Slover calling the timeout, and they're going to burn some more clock, but if they can find a good shot, they're going to. Of course, Penasco is going to have to start thinking about fouling, but they've only got 2 team fouls.
25-24 was the score at the end of the third, and now we're at 31-28, that 3-point lead by Tatum, and it is Villaseñor who inbounds, finds Hennard, but then it's sent out of bounds right away by Gonzalez. So it'll stay Tatum basketball. They'll just move a little deeper into that right corner down in their end of the court. So we'll try this again. Villaseñor looking for somebody, and are they going to call? What was the ref saying?
I thought
he's warning somebody, warning something on blue, but gives the ball back to Villaseñor. Villaseñor inbounds, finds Hennard. Hennard in the right corner. Oh, she loses. She got a trip, so they're going to call the foul on Gonzalez as Hennard kind of did the splits there after getting bumped, and they're going to call that. That is the second foul on Gonzalez.
It is the third team foul, though.
And it's so Villaseñor will inbound yet again. A bounce pass, a bad one, stolen away by Gonzalez. As the turnover by Tatum, not a good time to turn the ball over as they work the ball into McCauley. McCauley puts up a shot from the left, blocks, and it does not fall, but Tatum is going to be called for a foul. Who are they going to call that on?
Going to get that on Hennard. That'll be her second personal. 15 foul on Tatum, and so that will put Penasco at the line. And it's becoming a free throw contest.
It is McCauley at the line now. She's 1 for 2 at the line. And she puts the first one up and in. She's also got 5, 7, 9, 10, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12 points now. Go in for 13. 31-29 the score. And now she makes the second one, and it's a 1-point game. Tatum 31, Penasco 30, and Penasco wants to take a timeout. And it is going to be, is it going to be a full 60? I believe so. Full 60. We'll be back in 30 seconds. 1:05 left in this game. Tatum with just the 1-point lead. We'll have more Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
Welcome back to Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal game on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan with TJ Miracle. We have 1:05 left in this game, and for one that started off very slow and sleepy and sluggish and quiet, it has heated up in this fourth quarter, and Tatum has the slim 1-point lead, but they will have the ball to inbound in the Penasco end of the court, and it's going to be Villaseñor finding Hennard. Hennard in the backcourt, moves up, still in the back, getting worked on by Gonzalez, still in the backcourt, finds her way across the line, passes up to Garcia. Garcia on the right wing, and here comes someone to guard her. I didn't catch that number. I think it's number 20, Martinez. Now Tatum just passing around, quick, sharp passes, trying to take care of the ball and making Penasco come after them. 40 seconds on the clock. And now leaves it off for Villaseñor in the right corner to Hennard. Hennard up, trying to put up a shot, gets fouled, and I believe that was either McCauley or
it's on Gonzalez. Her third personal, fourth team foul, but it will send Hennard to the line for 2.
And Hennard will shoot. She has been to the line. She is 1 for 3 at the line.
3 for 5.
1, 2, 3, 4. I missed writing one of those down. Oh, and her first one up, no good. No good, and that made Penasco very happy. Tatum crowd offering her some support. Her second one rolls in. Makes it 32-30 now. A 2-point lead. 32 seconds left in this game. Penasco with the ball. Finally crossing the timeline. That is Lopez with it. And Lopez driving around to the right toward the blocks. And they're going to call a jump ball as who was it? Mariscal got her hand on it, or was it Villaseñor?
Yeah, it was Mariscal.
They were
got
both
the hand
there.
on it.
And they call a jump ball. This time it goes to Penasco. Lopez will inbound to the right of the basket. Leaves it off, gets it back, drives into the lane, puts a shot up and in. Wow. That's 2 points, 32-32. We're all tied with 9 seconds left. Tatum with the ball. That's Mariscal in the right wing. And a timeout is taken by Coach Slover with 6.4 seconds left. Tied up at 32, and we'll just keep it right here. This has turned into, finally, an exciting game here in the fourth quarter, TJ.
Well, it certainly has. 32 all and 6 seconds to go. Greg Slover is, I think what he's going to have to do right here is he's going to have to try and get Henard, Mariscal, or Villaseñor. He's going to have to try and get them down low to get off a last-second shot, see if you can draw the foul, and that would pretty much ice it unless, because they have had zero luck from beyond the arc. They haven't taken many threes.
Nope.
I don't think now is the time. You had the 6-point lead, and instead of keeping your foot on the gas for a while, they decided to take the air out of the ball, and when they couldn't convert on a couple of them, it threw their rhythm off, and that's let Penasco get back into it. Now Tatum has 6 seconds to get to the rack and either get a basket or a foul to try and win this.
And of course, as you said, Penasco took the air out of the ball. They grabbed the momentum, and now it just feels like they've got the upper hand here. Even though the score is tied, Tatum feels like they're on the defense, and they're definitely going to have to try to find those points in the last 6.4 seconds of this game. Luckily, they inbound in their end of the court. Right here in front of our scorers table, near midcourt, it's going to be Villaseñor. All tied up 32 apiece. Are we going to overtime? Will Tatum win it? We'll find out. They inbound, get it to Garcia. Garcia back to Villaseñor, who drives in from the right side, puts up a shot. It will not fall. Fight for the rebound. And a time. What are they going to say?
I think they say it ends.
It is end. The clock ended, and it's a tie, 32 all. A whistle sounded, and I didn't know if they were going to call a foul or if there was going to be a timeout taken in time with less than a second on the clock, but no. Regulation time has expired, and it's overtime, 32 all here in the Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. We're back in 30 seconds.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called Smart Hub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcacnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
Welcome back to Tatum Girls State Basketball, the semifinal game against Penasco here on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. And we are into overtime. 32 all at the end of regulation after an hour and a half of play, almost an hour and a half into this game. And Tatum now has a chance, still a chance to win this one, but only 4 minutes on the clock now. And in the center circle, Henard is going to go up against McCauley, and Tatum controls. Mariscal with the ball over to Henard. Henard fires over to Young. Young pulls up center court, back over to Villaseñor. Now kicks it out. Mariscal on the right wing, looking for room. Henard thinks about the three. Now pulls up, passes over on the right side. Back to Mariscal on the left. Now to Garcia on the right wing. And she passes back to Villaseñor as Tatum now finds Henard. Henard gets the pass. She posted up, puts up a shot, won't fall, and the rebound by Gonzalez. She drives in, pulls up, and they say, yep, and she double dribbles. So a turnover will give the ball back to Tatum, and Tatum will have their chance again. That is
I like that Penasco has picked up the pace. Tatum, I think, needs to match.
Villaseñor leaves it off for Hennard. Hennard over to Young, and just kind of a leisurely pace, really, from Tatum right now. Not a great sense of urgency here as they control the ball around the arc. Mariscal on the left, now to Hennard on the right. As she drives in, kicks it out to Villaseñor, who kicks it over to Young. Oh, Young over to Garcia. Almost loses it out of her hands. Now back to Hennard, who drives in, now gets it back over. A three-point shot attempt up, no good, and Villaseñor with a rebound and gets it to Garcia. Garcia puts up a shot. It goes over the backboard, so it's going to go back over to Penasco. 2:41 left in overtime. Now we're still tied up 32-all. Penasco with the ball. Inbound to Lopez, still in the backcourt, getting worked on Garcia. She crosses center court, just right of center court. Holds up, now drives over to the left wing, passes to Atencio on the left corner. Atencio getting worked on by Villaseñor, drives across the baseline, turns around, puts up a shot. It does not go. There is a fight for the rebound. I think they're going to say a tie ball. Mariscal got her hand on it. Macaulay too. And Macaulay ends up on the floor. I don't think it was a foul, just a jump ball. And Penasco with it, inbounds just to the left of their basket. Lopez to McCall, to Lopez, back to Macaulay. Macaulay gets it to Gonzalez. She pulls out, top of the arc, getting worked on by Mariscal. Now she drives the lane for the left block, puts up a shot, but a foul is going to be called against Tatum. Is that going to be against Garcia?
Yeah,
or
it should be.
Rice? It should be against Garcia.
Yeah, Rice
yeah, it
already
is.
out, so.
15, and yeah, Rice is out. I meant Young. Garcia. And that's her fourth foul.
It is.
And it puts Gonzalez at the line. She bricks it off the front. This is her first trip to the line. Gonzalez has 4 points in the game. And the second one falls. So Penasco with a 1-point lead, 33-32. 2 minutes left on the clock in overtime. Tatum with the ball. Hennard had it. Left to Garcia. Garcia over to Young. Young to Mariscal. Now out on the right wing to Villaseñor. Now over to Hennard. Hennard tries a three-point shot. It does not fall. Fight for the rebound. Mariscal has it. Her putback no good. And then a fight for the rebound. I think they're going to call a foul on Macaulay.
If they do, that should be Macaulay's fifth, but we'll see for sure what they put up. No, actually, they're going to call the push foul on Romero.
Romero, really? Okay.
And so that will put Mariscal at the line. Her first trip to the stripe. She's got 4 points.
And rebounds, 2 rebounds. And her shot is good, nothing but net. Great pressure free throw shooting there by Mariscal. Mariscal led the team in points on Tuesday in their win over Dulce with 18 points and 10 rebounds. Second one is up, and that is nothing but net as well. Now Tatum at 34-33 with 1:45 left to play. Lopez with the ball in the backcourt. Oh, the ball popped out by Garcia. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay Penasco basketball. Good hustle by Tatum, though.
Garcia needs to be careful. She's out there with 4 fouls.
Macaulay will inbound to Lopez. Lopez weaves around traffic, crosses center court, over on the right side, moves back over. Oh, and a pass intended for Atencio is stripped away by Villaseñor, and she passes over to Young. Young, travels as Young pulls up on the right blocks, outside the right blocks, and was going to pass behind her back to Villaseñor, and she traveled, so a turnover gives it back to Penasco. They inbound. Macaulay over to number 30, Gonzalez. Gonzalez still in the backcourt. Now across the timeline. They get it to Macaulay, and Macaulay, the ball pops up, stripped away, knocked away by Mariscal. She gets it to Young. Young to Hennard. Hennard pulls up. Tatum with a 1-point lead, 34-33, 1:05 left to play in overtime.
Now is not the time to take the air of the ball, and that's what Coach Slover's telling me. He's telling him, move around.
Move around, keep away.
Find a lane, move around.
And Hennard does find a lane. She puts up a shot right, almost point blank from the left side. It hits the backboard, falls off, and it's Penasco with the rebound. And then they pass it to Atencio. Atencio passes down trying to find Macaulay, and it goes out of bounds. So the turnover gives the ball back to Tatum, and now it is Penasco who wants to talk about it. A timeout's taken. It's a full one, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. It's still a barn burner in overtime, 34-33. Tatum with a 1-point lead. We'll be back with more Tatum Girls State Basketball semifinal action on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and OBSAmerica.com.
The Tatum Schools are a proud sponsor of this live broadcast. Tatum Schools are very proud of every single student. With the dedication in the classroom and the dedication in your community, you've made all of Tatum and Lee County very proud. All your hard work is paying off, Coyotes. The entire staff, faculty, and administration wish you the best of luck. For more details about Tatum Schools, please log on to tatumschools.org.
Attention shoppers, Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meat.
The ball is stolen away. Penasco's got it. It's on the ground now. A free fall, a jump ball. Is a jump ball going to be called as Romero had it and getting a hand on it, I think was Villasenor over there. So the jump ball now goes the way of Tatum. They get the ball back, and Villasenor will inbound just to the left of the Penasco basket as Atencio comes out, and I think that is number 20, Cheyenne Martinez going in for Penasco. Villasenor inbounds to Garcia. Garcia dribbling across the timeline. Right side drives down, pulls up, right side of the arc. Tatum with a 1-point lead, 29 seconds left, and a foul is going to be called on McCauley as she fouls Villasenor with the ball, and that'll put Villasenor at the line.
And I think
Villasenor, is that McCauley's fifth?
I thought it was. They said it was her fourth.
I think it's her fourth. I've got it down as 4.
So Villasenor, though, goes to the line.
But
Tatum
she's 0
finally in the bonus.
She's 0 for 2 at the line, though. Makes this one. Puts Tatum up 35-33 if she can make another one.
Now you need to make this one to make it a full possession ball game because that will force the Penasco Panthers to think about the 3.
Martinez comes out for Penasco, and Atencio goes back in, and the ball is up, and it is good. So now Tatum 36-33, and now Greg Slover wants a timeout. We'll take the Tatum timeout. We'll see if it's going to be a 30 or 60. Why don't we just keep it right here? And it's finally, it turned into a really exciting game in the fourth quarter of this one. Tatum, Penasco led at the end of the first quarter 10-6. They led at halftime 13-9. Tatum finally coming back, leading by just 1 point at the end of the third quarter, 25-24. And then we were tied at 32 all at the end of regulation, forcing the 4-minute overtime. And now we've got 28.2 seconds left on the clock. Tatum up 36 over Penasco 33, and Tatum just needs to hang on. What do you just hang on to the ball and force Penasco to come after you?
You've got to force, it'll be Penasco ball, and so if you're Tatum, you've got to drop
force
back. And so they've got to just defend inside. You can't draw a foul. It's okay if you let them go get the 2. You cannot leave them open for the 3. All of the points in this quarter, though, for both teams have come from the free throw line. 4 for Tatum, 1 for Penasco. So
and
Tatum
neither
has to do some thinking here.
Yeah, and neither team has a three-pointer, has made a three-pointer. Yeah, Lopez, since the first quarter, Lopez made a three-pointer at the very beginning of the game for Penasco, and no 3 points on the book since then. So back into regulation, and yes, it is Penasco basketball. They inbound to the left of the Tatum basket. McCauley to Lopez. Lopez still trapped in the backcourt. Gets it up to Atencio. Atencio finds McCauley. She's wide open. Drives the lane. Bounce pass in the lane and tries to put up a shot. Romero flops again. Ends up on but the no whistle called as Tatum, 3 of the Tatum girls stand back with their hands up like we're not touching her. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Tatum. It stays Penasco basketball. They inbound. Get it to Lopez. The clock ticking down. 10 seconds left. A three-point attempt taken and made. Lopez with her second tray of the game makes it from the right wing. Tatum with the ball. They get it down to Mariscal, and a timeout taken as Greg Slover takes the timeout. 4 seconds left, and we're tied again. 36 all. And wow, 36 all, 4.7 seconds left on the clock. Timeout taken. It'll be Tatum basketball when we come back to this game, and we will keep it right here. It is exciting. The fans on their feet, both across from us and behind us. Wow.
Very important here, Tatum. We've seen this movie script before. We saw it at the end of regulation. Tatum needs to try and find a way to get probably Mariscal or Villaseñor down low, take the quick shot. Even if you don't make it, you probably draw the foul, and that you can win it from the free throw line there.
Got to have somebody post up underneath the basket.
They will have to go the full length of the court, though.
They're going to have to do it very quickly. A long pass down. Otherwise, we're going into double overtime. Of course, you don't want to... Penasco is going to try to steal the ball.
Yeah, they're
try to
dropping
get it.
back. They're going to
wait. All right. Yeah, they're all back. The only player up front is Martinez, and it's going to be Garcia for Tatum to inbound. No, it is Villaseñor. It is Villaseñor underneath the Penasco basket. I think they were calling for things to quiet down, or they?
No, they're waiting on the buzzers. They have to go the full.
Okay.
Villaseñor passes down to Hennard. Hennard drives across the timeline, pulls up at the top of the arc, puts up a shot. It will not fall. Fight for the rebound. It doesn't matter because the first overtime is over. The buzzer sounds, and we are tied 36 all, and we're going to double overtime. So they will have minutes on the clock, and it will be, again, a battle. This is crazy for a game that started off so slow, sleepy, and cold. Now, in the fourth quarter on, has really made up for that. And we're still, this game started at 8 in real time. We are at 20 minutes till 10, and we're starting into our second over. And we're just keeping it right here as in about 25 seconds, we'll start with our double
overtime game here. This is exciting, but it's to determine who moves on to play for the championship. And that game is going to be on Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock at the Pit, and it's going to be against either number 1 West Mesa or number 4 Tularosa. Those two teams play tonight at 6:30 right here at the Rio Rancho Event Center. So we will get your second overtime period underway, and it's going to be Hennard going against McCauley in the circle. The tip is fought for, and two girls land on the floor. No call. It's going to be controlled by Penasco.
Villaseñor slow getting up.
And Villaseñor, I think Mariscal actually, and I think
she's bleeding, so she's going to have to come off. Georgia Weir will check in.
That's why the whistle sounded, because it wasn't because of the foul. There was no foul, as two girls landed on the floor, and Penasco came up with the ball, but they are checking Mariscal out. And timeout being taken, but they went ahead and subbed in Georgia Weir.
Yeah, they're bringing over their check, and I think she cut the lip open when she went down, when she had the collision.
So it'll be Gonzalez to inbound for Penasco. She gets it into Lopez. Lopez getting worked on by Garcia, pulls back near half court on the left side, now driving forward to the left arc. Leaves it off for Gonzalez. Gonzalez, no room. Oh, and she traveled. Yep. She traveled. Good defensive pressure by Villaseñor on her as she was looking for somebody open to pass to, and instead dragged the foot. So give it to Villaseñor. She inbounds to Hennard. Hennard crosses the timeline back to Villaseñor. She drives in, gets it to Garcia on the right corner. Out to Young. Young over to Weir. Weir back to Hennard. Hennard trying to pop the three. It does not go. A fight for the rebound controlled by Penasco. That's Lopez with the rebound. Gets it up to Gonzalez. Leaves it off for Lopez. Lopez passes into McCauley. She tries to drive in the lane. Can't get in there. Hennard keeping her out. They give it to Atencio instead, and Atencio from the right wing puts it in. A three-pointer, and now it's 39-36. 2:59 left, but Tatum's got the ball. There's still time. Garcia gets it to Hennard. Hennard back to Garcia. She drives in, puts up a shot, and it does not fall. And it's going to be there's a fight for the rebound. McCauley's got her hand on it, but so did Garcia, forcing the jump ball, and it goes the way of Tatum. So 2:47 left to play now. Penasco with the 39-36 lead out of that three-pointer by Atencio. And it's going to be Villasenor to inbound just to the left of Tatum's basket. She's looking for, gets it out to Young. Young over to Garcia on the right wing. And she gets it off to Mariscal. Mariscal all the way over to Villasenor. She drives in the lane, loses the handle on the ball, and ends up on the floor. Are they going to call? They're going to call a foul on Atencio. Atencio, number 42. That's her second foul. And that's going to send Villasenor to the line. And Villasenor sank her last two. She missed her first two in the first half.
And they're having to pull Mariscal back out as she's starting to bleed just a little bit again.
All right, Hennard's in the blocks, and Garcia on the other side. And the first one is up and good. Nothing but net. Now a 2-point game. And Villasenor will try to make it a 1-point game. She does.
14 points for Villasenor now.
39-38. Penasco with a 1-point lead. 2:35 left to play in this double overtime. Lopez has it. Still in the backcourt. Getting worked on by Garcia. Crosses center court. Garcia reaches in, tries to steal the ball. Penasco wants a foul. They don't get it. Leaves it off for McCauley. McCauley out on the right wing. Now to Atencio. Atencio kicks it back out to Lopez. Now, of course, Penasco can afford to burn some clock. They've got the 1-point lead, and they're doing it as Lopez has it, daring somebody to come after her. Now she moves forward. Garcia guarding her, but nobody coming after her. Now Garcia a little tighter on her. Now Young on her. They pass in the lane looking for McCauley, but right there trying to steal it away is Mariscal came back in the game, and Romero, and they're going to call Romero for the foul. So there were bodies everywhere right there in the left block.
Turnover for Penasco, and the Mariscal will head to, or rather Villasenor will head back to the line to try and tie this one or give Tatum the lead. 3
fouls against Romero, and Mariscal at the line. 39-38 Penasco with a 1-point lead. 1:51 left in this second overtime period. Villasenor will try to sink it amidst lots of noise from Penasco. Oh, and that one does bounce off to the right. She had made 4 straight, and I didn't say it, so I wouldn't jinx her, but she missed it anyway. She had made 4 straight free throws, but she will have a chance to tie it up right here. Up, and it rattles out. And a fight for the rebound, and it's going to be a jump ball. McCauley had her hand on it. Romero had a hand on it. Henner had a hand on it. And this time it goes the way of Penasco. That is going to be McCauley inbounding to Lopez. Lopez in the backcourt, getting guarded by Garcia, still in the backcourt. Now crosses center court. They're going to burn clock. They have a 1-point lead. 1:35 left in this second overtime period. Lopez calling for the offense. Calling for Gonzalez to come up so she can pass the ball off. Finds Atencio on the right wing instead. Then back to Lopez. Lopez motioning for somebody to come along. She hands it off to Gonzalez. Gonzalez drives around and pulls back up. Now they're going to make Tatum come after them. They're burning clock. 1:15 left. 39-38. Penasco with a 1-point lead. That's Lopez out at center court to Romero, to McCauley. McCauley to Romero, to Gonzalez. Now they kick the ball out. And they're just hanging on to the ball, burning clock. And finally, they're going to call Romero. They're going to call Romero as she bumped into Garcia. Yep, and it's her 4th personal foul.
And the 31st turnover for Penasco. Tatum has got to convert on this, and the timeout will be taken by Coach Greg Slover.
So the timeout, and 57.3 seconds left on the clock. Penasco has the 1-point lead, 39-38, but we're going to see, I believe it's Garcia who's going to go to the line. I think that Romero.
No, it's an offensive
foul. Oh, okay, so there is no line.
Okay,
there is no shot. No shot. Yep.
But it will give Tatum the ball back.
That's right. So. Tatum will have the ball. And we're just going to keep it right here, as this has been an interesting game.
I think that's a good way to put it. 39-38 Tatum in the second overtime for two teams that average over 50 points a game. And, we said in the pregame show, Penasco is not your typical number 6 seed. With their 11 losses, you think, that is. But you lose to Mesa Vista, the number 1 team in 2A 4 times.
Sure.
You lose to Navajo Prep, who's playing in the 3A semis tonight. Espanola Valley, who's a pretty good 4 5A team. And then Los Alamos, who made the playoffs in 4A. So,
and we are ready to get this one out of the Tatum timeout. Tatum will have the ball. And that's going to be Garcia to inbound at midcourt. Gets it to Hennard. Hennard crosses the timeline. Moves it over to Young. Then to Hennard. Hennard bounce pass to Mariscal, who puts up a shot. It won't fall. Hennard with the rebound and then gets over into the left corner. The ball goes out of bounds. Last touch off of Hennard. And it'll be Penasco basketball. 48.5 seconds left, and 39-38 Penasco basketball. They've got the 1-point lead, and a full timeout is taken this time. We'll go ahead and be back in 30 seconds with more Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
Welcome back to double overtime. Tatum Girls State Basketball Semifinal here on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. 48.5 seconds left in this second overtime period. Penasco leading Tatum 39-38. Out of the Penasco timeout, it'll be Lady Panther basketball. Macaulay will inbound to the left of the Tatum basket. And as we've talked about off air, Tatum really is going to need to foul almost immediately, and they do. They're going to call that either on Hennard or on, they're going to call it on Hennard or on Garcia, as they were both there, and double swarming Romero. They call that on Hennard, and that is her third.
Yeah, it's her third.
And it wasn't, I thought they fouled Romero, but they didn't. They fouled, is that Lopez?
I believe it is, yeah.
Yep, they fouled Lopez. So Lopez at the line. First one rattles home. Gives Penasco a 2-point lead, and she's got a chance to give Penasco the 3-point lead here with 46.8 seconds. And the second one bricks off, no good.
And they're going to call a lane violation on Penasco. So it'll be Tatum ball.
Give the ball to the Lady Coyotes, and Garcia will inbound, get it to Hennard with 45 seconds left. Penasco up by 2. Here it comes, a bounce pass back to Hennard in the lane. She puts up a shot and ties it. We're 40 all of Hennard's basket. Give it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez moves it across the timeline up to Lopez. Lopez driving over to the left, getting worked on by Garcia. Leaves it off for Gonzalez. Gonzalez moves around to the right arc.
Penasco going to play for the last shot.
And 40, we're tied. 19 seconds left. 18 ticking off, and Hennard's going to get called for the foul as Lopez was working the ball and Hennard guarding her. Lopez turned, pivoted really sharply, and turned, and Hennard ran into her.
That's okay. That will give Tatum the opportunity to get the last shot now as Villasenor, and wow, that's 5 for Hennard. I thought that was only 4.
Wow, yep.
So Hennard out of the game. 5 fouls, 7 rebounds, and 14 points. They're going to miss her on the court.
They will.
And Coach Greg Slover is asking, is that 5? Because he had it 4 too.
Yeah, I think you and I both had it as 4.
So now they're double checking with the scores table.
But Hennard is walking through the
line.
Penasco line.
Yeah, I had that as 4 on Hennard, but
wow. All right, so 5, and she's out of the game. And who did they bring in her place? They haven't. Okay, they're going to bring in, Hennard. I believe, number 22. That's Colby Hennard. This is her first time in the game. So you've got Young, you've got Mariscal, and Villasenor in the blocks to rebound for Tatum. First one by Lopez is up and good. makes it 41-40. And she has a chance to put Penasco up by 2. 17.6 seconds left on the clock in this double overtime period. And sinks the second one as well. So Penasco now a 2-point lead. Lady Coyotes with the ball. Garcia's got it. Gives it to Villaseñor across the timeline. Now on the right wing. Passes over to Colby Hinnard. Colby moves the ball over. Passing. I don't know if she's trying to find Young or if she was trying to find Villaseñor, but it goes out of bounds.
20th turnover. It's got to be, if you can't steal the inbound, you've got to foul instantly.
And Penasco with a 2-point lead, and they will have the ball to inbound, and a timeout is taken. 6.2 seconds left on the clock, as that was costly for Tatum. Very costly, as Penasco will have the ball to inbound when the clock starts, and Tatum will have only 6.2 seconds to work with to try to get the ball away. They're just going to have to foul immediately.
Only
That's
chance
it.
They've got.
There's not enough time to do anything else.
KIXN Hobbs, your home for Tatum Lady Coyotes State Tournament basketball. From here at Rio Rancho Event Center in double overtime.
Double overtime game. It was tied at 32 apiece at the end of regulation play. Then at the end of the first overtime, tied at 36 apiece. And now it's 42-40. Penasco with a 2-point lead. And they will inbound in Tatum's end of the court. And it's going to be McCauley who gets it out to Atencio. Atencio gets across the timeline, passes up to Romero in the right wing, and swarmed immediately. Aubrey Young fouls her.
And they
That's
tried
her
to
fifth foul.
Atencio before.
Oh, wow. And with 0.7 seconds left, what do they say? As it was Young who committed the foul on Romero. And 0.7 seconds left on the clock. Penasco 42, Tatum 40. We're almost at the end of the double overtime, and Romero is going to the line. And her first shot up, it bounces off. As with that foul, Aubrey Young fouls out of the game.
2 points, 1 rebound, but good defense.
In the blocks, Mariscal and Villaseñor for Tatum. And the second one up, no good as well. It's Mariscal with a rebound, but time is up. And Tatum falls to Penasco. Final score 42-40 in double overtime. This has been a thriller, and your number 2 seeded Tatum Lady Coyotes are upset by 6-seeded Penasco. And we'll be back to wrap this one up in just a couple of minutes right here with more Tatum Girls State basketball action on Kicks 103 Tatum Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
IPS Incorporated is a proud member of this community. IPS is the turnkey solution in the oil patch. One call to IPS for your upstream and midstream solutions, comprising of dirt work, electrical, pumping, and crane service, plus your automation and control, is all handled with one call. One call for every aspect of your oil and gas project. Google IPS Hobbs or simply call 393-1417. IPS, the turnkey one-call oil and gas company.
Congratulations, students and student athletes of Lee County. R360 congratulates all Jow, Eunice, Hobbs, Lovington, Tatum, and the surrounding high schools, and wishes the best of luck to our student athletes competing this week in state playoffs. Right now is more important than ever to recognize positive achievements in our communities. Join R360 in saluting our amazing Lee County students. This community message is brought to you by R360.
Back to Tatum Girls State Basketball semifinal action here on Kicks 103 Tatum Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Tatum Lady Coyotes fought but fell through 2 overtime periods, losing just by 2 points, 42-40, to the 6-seeded Penasco Lady Panthers. TJ, it has been an interesting game. We talked about it. It finally heated up after a slow first half. It started heating up in the third to fourth quarter. We were tied up at 32 all at the end of regulation. Went into overtime, 36 all. forced a second overtime, and just by 2 points, Penasco pulling up the upset over the second-seeded Tatum Lady Coyotes.
Well, Penasco has now upset the number 2 and the number 3, and congratulations to them. Tatum, with their opportunities, forced 31 turnovers in the ball game, but were not able to convert on almost any of them. Tatum from the floor in this game only shooting 25%. That's it. They went 0 from beyond the arc, and Penasco, to their credit, stuck around long enough to just to make it happen. Leading scorers for Tatum had Avery Hennard with 14 and Luann Villasenor both with 14 before before the end, but nobody else really able to get just a whole lot going in this one today.
No, it definitely was a slow start to Tatum, and then it felt like they were just playing catch up again toward the end. They just kind of got outsmarted just a little bit by Penasco there at the end, but they certainly put up a good fight, and it was an exciting, second half of this game and through both overtime periods. So congratulations to the Tatum Lady Coyotes. It feels terrible for them right now. They were expecting to move forward, play for the championship against either West Mesa or Tularosa. Mesa Vista, rather, number 1 team in 2A West Mesa against Tularosa later on tonight. And Tatum wanted to be the team to be playing tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock at the pit for that championship, but it is not to be. It just was not to be and will not happen now, as it's going to be Penasco who will have the chance to play for that championship. Although, they have lost to West Mesa 4 times this season. Mesa Vista. Sorry about that. I keep calling West Mesa. Mesa Vista 4 times this season. So they're hoping that the 5th time will be the charm for them if it is Mesa Vista who ends up in that championship game. So congratulations, on a 27-3 season for Tatum Lady Coyotes. They do not make it into the championship game, but we are going to say so long and wrap this one up. 42-40, your final score here. And we will be back this afternoon to have the Hobbs girls game, as the Lady Eagles are going to be playing at the pit. And that game is going to start at 1:15, and they're going to play Volcano Vista. You'll hear that game on Eagle 100.5 and on Hobbs Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan for TJ Miracle. Great job, Evie Stuber, producing and engineering. And with that, we're going to give it a wrap and say so long until later this afternoon with more state basketball action coming up. This has been on Kicks 103, Tatum Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. Good day.